Hey, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a recent reads. A few of these, I do 10 reads in each recent read video, and I have a few of these to do because they're so behind. The first book was The Dream Keeper Saga by Kathryn Butler. The first book in the Dragon and the Stone series. And Crossway sent me it. Thank you so much. This was such a heartwarming story. It's a fantasy story, but there's so many issues, important issues and themes in there too. There's some things that made me think of things from the Bible, but it's not stated outright. It's only because I knew these things, so it's definitely in no way pushing it in anyone's face. I think the only people who will notice are people familiar with the Bible and or they believe in God. I really appreciated what came across to me, and I loved every time I noticed something though. And there's also bullying, loss, grief, not fitting in or feeling like you belong anywhere, but also it's full of hope and faith. And you have the magical aspects like dragons, shrouds, Merlin, Robin Hood, Sir Lancelot, a unicorn, mist elves, a siren, soothstones, harpies, just so many things. Unique and amazing characters like Rigel and Flint. Loved. I also love the friendship that grows between the characters. Such fast-paced magical adventure. Cedric has my heart. I just love that dragon so much. The ending was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Highly recommend it. And this is out now, and I think the sequel comes out August 2nd. But I really enjoyed this so much. Then I read Keepers of the Lost City Unlocked. It's book 8.5 in the Keepers of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. I can't believe, like when I finished this, I can't believe I didn't have the next one just to dive into because I've been reading them back to back and I just have to wait now. I'm so happy I didn't start the series when it first came out because if I think it's bad having to wait for book 9, I can't imagine the wait each book has been for people. That would have been torture. And while I was doing some searching, I found, so I could find out more about the series, like how many books total there would be, stuff like that. I saw quite a few people who thought this book was a waste of time, not worth it, like a money grab. But I disagree in my opinion with all of that. I mean, I'm sure they want to make money. But that's any book. I know the author had a baby and needed more time than normal, so I think she used the time a new book would normally come out to give something to the die-hard fans like this. And it has so much in here, like classified registry info and characters, one particular troublemaker's disciplinary info, a registry list, which also shows how to pronounce each name, the world of all cities, which is illustrated on the end paper, giving info on each of the map locations, colored portraits that are stunning, info on the council, nobility, rebels, intelligent species, info on food, plants, medicines, gadgets, fashion, creatures, activities, keeps, memories, and so many more things. Also, it ends with a novella that you pretty much need to read before going to book 9. The author thought this was the perfect place to put it because it's following right after book 8 ends, like right after. And it's usually told from Sophia's point of view only, but the author said that she really needed to show what was happening with Keith, what he was doing and thinking. So taking that part of the story and making it a novella to put in here, where chapters alternate between Keith and Sophie's point of view, was the perfect solution. And it was an epically amazing novella. And whether a short novella or a big chunk of a book, this author can pack a story into her pages. And just so incredible. I'm so eager to see what happens next, especially with the ending from the Queen of Hangovers. But I'm so glad that this is the ending I'm having to have a cliffhanger from, because the cliffhanger at book 8 was, that would have been torture. I'm so glad that I got to see what happened, at least with that. So this is a better cliffhanger than that one was to deal with and wait for. I absolutely love this series so much. And then I read the 4th book in the Starfell series, Willow Moss and the Magic Thief by Dominique Valente and HarperCollins, and they guys sent me this. Thank you so much, along with a beautiful package. Highly illustrated, of course. I just love this series so much. These are the epitome of a warm hug in book form. And diving back into this series was like, it's just like cuddling under a cozy blanket. It just has all the feels. It's such a joy to read about a character like Willow. She's such a great main character for kids to read about too, in my opinion. She makes mistakes and she actually learns from them. She always tries to do her best no matter what. She's loyal to her friends and family, would do anything for them. She loves and loves hard. Her character growth and development just progresses so well each book. She's come such a long way with her confidence. Love and kindness are her strongest powers to me. She truly is deserving of her name. You learn about that in the book. Her friends, in turn, love her just as fiercely and protectively. Husband still gets me. I love that monster from under the bed so much. Great messages in here like fear are not facts. Don't let your fear stop you from living. Also, life isn't fair. Terrible things happen, but that doesn't mean you give up. You keep going, you keep trying. and you should never bury feelings like guilt or shame. It helps to talk about them, and it makes it worse to not. So many more imaginative and great additions to the story as well, such as Lumi and everything about him, like his backstory, how he communicates, etc. I also love the memories that Willow kept remembering and taking us back with her to see, with her and her granny Flossie. It added even more heart to the story and so many great lessons and messages. It helped us really see firsthand how close they were and what her granny really meant to her and why. Just so beautiful. Great story about believing in yourself, loving who you are the way you are, always doing the best you can, helping others, and more. So much adventure, magic, family, friendship, heart, and imagination. Such vivid, imagining writing as well. These are so atmospheric. The author takes you to Starfell. It brings it to life with her writing. I don't know if there will be more, but I really, really hope so. Highly recommend. The US edition isn't out yet, but this is the UK edition. I think the US one comes out in January, I think. Love this series. And then I read the first book in the Rose Raventhorpe Investigate series by Janine Beacham, Black Cats and Butlers. This is my kind of middle grade. Historical fiction, detective vibe, mystery middle grade, and great humor. I also love a good Victorian story, so this just checks so many boxes. I love this time period so much. It's so different to any other detective-like mystery, too, I've read, and I love that. It made itself unique, creative, and imaginative, from the cats and the guardians of York, dueling butlers, the stairs below, and more. I just ate this up. Silvercrest Hall and the whole story with the butlers and the cats is just the best. Has some gothic style, darker moments too, and I love it so much. The humor aspect that I tend to find attached to detective middle grade was so good in here and felt fresh and unique in some way. I can't really pinpoint exactly. The characters are phenomenal. Rose is a terrific main character. I adore the butler so much. Such an interesting and highly enjoyable idea for a mystery middle grade. Writing is superb, and the vivid details the author puts in transports you to this time period. The carriages, the cobblestone roads, added in with how intelligent and brave Rose is, yet at the same time the author conveys how she is restricted by the times by just being a girl. Ugh. And all the ways life was different then, down to the manner in which they speak. It makes it feel like you were there trying to solve the mystery too. Then the fog setting, the cathedral, the rooftops, the secret societies, just so many incredible details. Plus, middle grade cats. It's just the best. The author even put a glossary in the back, a list of odd words and fun facts, and I really love that. This does deal with murder and some darker topics than maybe upper middle grade. Depends on what you think, I guess. I don't have kids, so I don't like to say. But, oh, I love this so much. Then I went right on and finished the second book, Rubies and Runaways. It was just as great as the first, if not better. I fell more and more in love with these characters and story the more I read. We meet some new characters in this one, good and evil. The good ones quickly become new favorites, and I absolutely love their addition to the story. The evil ones are attached to a whole new mystery we had to solve, aside from Rose's awful cousin, Herbert, who comes to visit with his own awful butler in tow. Can't stand him. To go with the secret societies and the butlers, etc., we're also introduced to the chimney sweeps in this. The things they do with the ashes, the way they send messages, the raven, and even just the whole backstory of the butlers and the sweeps history together was just fascinating. Atmospheric writing, amazing characters, incredible mystery, superb humor are even better in this too. And there's also a glossary in the back, just like there was in the first book, for a list of weird words and fun facts from the story. I just loved this series. And then I read Rise of the School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani. I read the art they sent me, and I got a beautiful finished copy. And wow, just mind-blowing, mind-twisting, epic story. Soman brings it every single time. This was amazing. I'm just so in love with this new chapter I got a glimpse of in this book, and I will always love being in this world. There's a reason it's my favorite series of all time. Once again, he flips everything on its head. He makes you question everything you think you know. You doubt every fairy tale you've ever read. You doubt good. You could doubt evil. He has you thinking one way through the book, then totally messes with your head and makes you question everything you think you felt or thought about what you'd read up till then. I use the term mind-blown and blowing for a reason often when I talk about this series. He is the master of all that, and definitely the master of that gray area of morality. He makes you wonder who are the good ones and who are the bad ones. He makes you wonder if you're rooting for the right team, or like me, question whether you yourself are evil bad because you're connecting more with evil and feel a stronger emotional connection to them. And in the original series, Sophie is my favorite, so if you've read them, this says a lot about me and where I stand on my opinion on most things in this world. It's such a roller coaster. It's broken into parts. The first part we actually introduced to Aladdin. We meet another famous character later in the book as well. I always love the addition of classic fairy tale characters he brings in with his own take on them. He always does such a brilliant job. Aladdin is just the seed that grows the story of this book, and the two brothers though. I love seeing how it all began with them, learning even more about them. You think from what we know going into it, who you will side with, and who you will be against, but nothing is ever as clear-cut as that in this world. Everything we learn about the brothers, the story in this world, and even the reader and Gavaldon, and how that all started was so gripping and fascinating. We even get to see another character's beginnings that we know originally from the main series, and I love that. I loved every part of this. The more you read, the more invested, if even possible, and more hooked you become. It becomes increasingly more difficult to put down. It gets to the point where you can't. So many twists, turns, and jaw on the floor moments. I can't say a lot because I don't want to spoil anything from the original series or this book, but it's just wow. I will say there was one Evergirl whose soul itself was so good, she made me want to be a better person. I really enjoyed doubting everyone and everything, and yet there's still being one character who actually was so true in who they were. Then the Nevers and what they saw and dreamed for their own futures, it was just incredible. The circus show near the end was epic. Had actual goosebumps. Then the revelation at the end, my mind was actually blown. I was so happy to hear there will be a second book. I can't wait. This was another phenomenal story, and I just can't wait for more. This also has the most stunning illustrations sprinkled throughout to go with the beautiful cover, and it's just incredible. So happy. And then I read the first graphic novel in the Goddess Girls graphic novel series, Athena the Brain, and Joan Holub has sent me these, the first two, so thank you. These are by Joan Holub and Suzanne Williams, adapted by Dave Campiti. I had so much fun with this. Such a great mythological time. This is such a great take on Greek mythology, having the goddess girls and god boys going to school at Mount Olympus with Zeus's principal. I love seeing the author's take on how school might go for them. Many of the same worries and issues young people can relate to, along with some that are unrelatable, like the magic stuff, of course. It follows Athena, who finds out she's a goddess and Zeus is her dad, and he wants her to come to school. But with the help of a great group of friends she makes when she gets there, she slowly learns the new ways of her life and gets more comfortable and confident. I love the friendship dynamics in here so much. Great humor as well. I loved how Medusa's story is playing out so far and can't wait to see more there. See more of everything. I love this. The beautiful cover and amazing artwork too. Then read the second one, Persephone the Phony. I love this one even more than the first, and I love the first one. We follow Persephone's story. She tries to find her voice, speak up for herself, and do things she wants to do. Also, we see her developing friendship with Hades. And I love how so far we have gotten to know a different goddess each book. I'm really enjoying that. So many great messages and lessons in this one. I flew through it. I read the first half in one sitting and the other half in another. Really looking forward to the third one that comes out in August. This also made me want to pick up the novels, which is why I started. And another beautiful cover and artwork as well. And then, since I finished Keeper's Lost Seed, I started Serafina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty. And I finished the first one. I absolutely loved it. This gave me such a gothic, atmospheric vibe. And knowing of the Biltmore estate added in with the author's descriptive writing, not only the estate, but the woods, historical aspects of the time, and just every detail, just made it extremely atmospheric. Dark, upper middle grade, love. Serafina is such a unique main character, just a unique character, period, and I loved her. She's such a refreshingly different point of view to read from. I loved her whole backstory, her pa, her being the CRC, and so much more. I love seeing her gradually come out of her shell, making her first friend, and discover how brave she actually was. And what a first friend to make too. Braden was fantastic. His love for animals and Shine, staying away from people for the most part, totally relatable. He was such a great friend to Serafina as well, as was his amazing dog Gideon. Braden and Gideon both have my heart. Everything that's revealed, all the twists and turns, made for a very fast-paced read. The whole mystery, the man in the black cloak, and the missing children, just so gripping. Such a thrilling, gothic, hauntingly beautiful mystery adventure full of danger, suspense, friendship, loyalty, and bravery. I'm especially loving digging more into the estate info to see what things connect, like actual people and maybe events. Non-fantasy stuff, of course. Highly recommend. Then I read The Boy Who Met a Whale by Nizrana Farook. The publisher had sent me this. It's out now. So such a thrilling and atmospheric story as well as heartwarming. I love the ocean, so the vivid details the author gives made me feel like I was on the sea with the kids, and I love that. The characters are so endearing, and you root for them to succeed the whole way. The bad guys are truly awful. I was on the edge of my seat many times. The whale aspect wasn't what I was expecting, and I loved their part in the story. So beautiful, and my heart was so full. The dynamic between the three kids was so well done. And I love the brother-sister relationship, and also the friendship that developed between the three kids as a group. They made such an amazing team and helped each other in so many ways. Grief, loss is a theme in here, and I thought it was handled so well. Rosie had amazing character growth development. Janine was amazing and so book hug worthy. Really enjoyed it. Had the best time. Alright, y'all, that's it for this video. Have you read any of these? Did you like them? Did you not? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to subscribe, I would love that if you'd like to. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.